It's Wednesday. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching Puck Time. It's hockey, and more hockey. And, well, frankly, don't tell anyone. This is my favorite show. Anytime I get to talk hockey, it's a good time. My hockey team played last night. We won 4-1. The over and under was 7. Carm bet the over and lost. But he did catch a break on the -1.5. So Carm went 1-1 on my hockey game. Anyway, Buster Sports and Andrew McInnis joining us for Puck Time today. And let's bring them in. Let's get to it. We're going to talk 4 games in depth and then the last minute of play. Hey, boys. Andrew, 6-3 your last 9 hockey games. Look, it's a mini run. It's starting. Season is underway. 6-7 games each per team. Trends are taking place. I'm excited, man. I'm dead even on the NHL season right now. I'm literally 6-6. How are you, brother?
Doing good, Prez. I'm around 500 right now. So, you can't really complain about a decent amount of plus money puck lines, though. Last night with Carolina, I had one that was just the last second empty net goal, plus 178 ticket casher. So, I'm not usually a puck line better, Prez, but I've been getting on some of them these days, and it's been going well. And, Prez, I got to ask you, because I saw this 2 days ago. I saw you wearing a ball cap on a show the other day. Is that something you usually do? I got to say, it was an all right look on you, but I liked it.
Yeah, so I had a really rough night, and I literally could not bring myself to doing my hair. That's pretty much the way it worked. But I appreciate it, and I do love that hat. It's a really nice hat. Buster, sitting in Mexico for the winter, you lucky dog. 3-1 last night in hockey. Nice to have you on the show. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, Prez. Thanks for having me. I guess we're going to be doing this every Wednesday myself. I know last week we had a little bit of technical problems. That's too bad. I actually gave away 2 free winners. But hopefully I can give a few today.
Nothing like wearing a shirt that says, I need big clothes.
But you know what, Prez? I'm in pretty good shape for an old guy. So this is an old. Went to Tempe, Arizona for a football team, Oregon, in Arizona State. Great game. Great college atmosphere when I was a little younger.
Yeah, so about 45 years ago.
Come on, Prez. I'm only a little older than you. You actually, just a little, I believe, because you've turned 50 now, right?
I am 50, baby, and I love it. It's been the most. It's actually been the best age I've ever because I feel like it's very freeing. In other words, I'm 50 and I'll do what the hell I want. Boys, let's get to it. Colorado 5-0 on the season. If you listen to the NHL preview shows, I told you guys how high I was on this team. I think Nathan McKinnon is maybe the second best hockey player in the league. They're on the road. They're going into Pittsburgh 4-2 on the year. It's basically a pick'em. Pittsburgh's -116. The over and under is 6.5 here. And, I don't like to say this, but this game's an outright pass for me. Andrew, I'll go to you first. What do you like?
Yeah, Prez, we actually talked about this in our preview, like you said, and I think we all really liked Colorado. They're 5-0 to start. I think they definitely do not slow down here. They lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins in December of 2018, their last meeting, 6-3. And these two teams have definitely changed directions. Colorado's on the uprise, and Pittsburgh is certainly on the decline. Really, really banged up. Cappers that always takes injuries into account. One injury is not going to change a whole team. But when you've got 3 or 4 guys out, it certainly does change a team. Absolutely.
Well, we saw that Winnipeg. Their entire defense is riddled with injuries, and you let Arizona score 4 on you. You got major problems.
Yes, I'd say so. And right now, I think the biggest thing for this Colorado team is a former Maple Leaf, Nazem Kadri and Andre Burakovsky. They have both found an excellent home in Colorado. They've slotted in perfectly. They already have one of the best top lines in the league with Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen. And now to have that second line, it's outstanding. And, they traded away Barrie to the Maple Leafs, but they also already had Cale Makar, Samuel Girard, and so many great offensive defensemen that are able to get the job done. And we're getting an excellent price here with this one. It's a very confusing number here for me, guys, in this one. I actually have a write-up on the website here for this pick, and I think it's my free play of the day. I really, really strongly feel that Colorado continues their streak here. Pittsburgh will not slow them down. Pittsburgh, not only are they banged up, but you look at this Colorado team. We've seen some great goaltending from Philip Grubauer. He's been outstanding between the pipes, and although I mentioned their defensemen can be offensive, they're also great at staying at home because, like I said, they have so much youth on offense. The zone entry is perfect right now for them, and they're carrying the pace of play. I don't really see this team getting tired or fatigued, which is why I would look at this game going over the total as well. I could see easily, a 5-3 game in favor of Colorado. I'm not going to say Pittsburgh can't score, guys, but I think Colorado is a little bit too much for them to handle right now.
He's Andrew McInnis. You can find him at Sports Memo. The old guy in the double XL shirt is Buster. Buster Sports, what do you like in this Colorado-Pittsburgh game?
I would actually think Andrew was reading my notes after what his analysis was there. I'm right with you, Andrew, on this with Colorado here. They're going for their sixth win in a row. And McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen, they've already combined for 23 points this year. Colorado looked good. They came out on Monday night and just punched Washington right in the mouth. 4-0 up. Washington 4-0 after that. It was basically game over. And as you're saying, Grubauer playing excellent. He's got a 9.925 goals save percentage, and he's only missed one game, and he'll be starting tonight. And for me, why, like you say, the price is unbelievable to get an even. I got it at even, so I'm more than happy with that. For me here, like you say, injuries. Pittsburgh's got a lot of them, and I think they got to go into Minnesota, Winnipeg, and they just played offensive hockey and put up a bunch of goals against those guys. Not going to be so easy tonight against Colorado. Those injuries to McCann and Malkin and Bustad and Galenchuk, they're going to catch up with them. But the biggest thing for me in this is that this is going to be a huge step up in class for Pittsburgh this year. They've played Winnipeg twice, Anaheim, Columbus, and Minnesota. Now they got to go and play a team like Colorado. I'm all over Colorado tonight, guys.
Guys, unbelievable promotion for you all. We're going to keep this promotion up for only 72 hours. Basically, get any NHL expert at Sports Memo or WagerTalk. Carm, Dave. Oh, I wrote Carm twice. I got it. Carm, Dave, myself, Buster, Dolan, Alex, and or Andrew for $39. Just head over to WagerTalk or Sports Memo and use the promo code NHL39. $39 for 1 week. This is a terribly written scroll at the bottom. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Get any of our NHL experts for 1 week. I'm changing it as we speak because, well, I was talking to Johnny the entire time I did this promotion. So bottom line, boys, 1 week, any of our NHL experts, $39. Use the promo code NHL39. Andrew, I'll go to you first. The Leafs looked good last night. 4-2 win. They're now in Washington. It's basically a pick'em. Toronto plus 101, Washington minus 118. The over and under is 6.5. I look at the over in this game, guys. Toronto's gone over 4 of their last 2. I think this team is legitimately going to average around 3.78 goals. 3 points, like 3.
That's very specific.
Yeah, about 3.78 goals on the year. I feel like that's what their numbers are going to be. And I think Washington can score. I think it's a tough spot for Toronto. They got Boston on Saturday night. They just went on the road. This is their first game on the road trip. I lean to Washington, but I do like the over. Andrew?
Well, Press, I spoke before the season that I felt that when we got Hutchison between the pipes.
Who's we? Hold on. Oh, timeout.
You can't say that being a Montreal fan.
Don't you ever!
We as in handicappers, we as in bettors, saw Hutchison between the pipes.
Okay. I thought for a second you were trying to jump on the Toronto bandwagon, and we frankly don't want you.
No, I don't. Trust me, I don't want to be over there with you. But when I look at the odds page and saw the Toronto Maple Leafs at the round even money spot here against Washington with Hutchison between the pipes, I thought it was a very interesting thing. And Prez, for yourself as a Maple Leafs fan, you kind of find it kind of peculiar that they put Freddie Anderson in nets for the Minnesota Wild game and Hutchison in nets for this game against the Washington Capitals. So maybe Mike Babcock is testing Hutchison. I'm not really sure what the thought process is there. But either way, the whole point of this is that I'm trying to say is that at the beginning of the season, I knew we were going to get value with the Leafs whenever Hutchison was in nets. Plus 101 here, as we're seeing on the screen, against Washington. Look, we're seeing the Maple Leafs in a good spot here. I don't take any fatigue or back-to-back spots into an account with good teams early into the season. With teams like LA and Anaheim, sure, back-to-back is a really important thing to fade them on those spots. But with teams like the Leafs, Tampa Bay, definitely not. I don't care about the back-to-back spot here. This is a young team. The best part about this Leafs team right now is their secondary scoring. People were making huge claims and acquisitions, that the Marner line wasn't doing well, Tavares wasn't being consistent. That did not matter because they showed up last night. But the more important factor was their third line and fourth line were creating scoring chances and getting on the score sheet early on in the season. We know Marner's going to light the scoreboard up. We know Matthews already has, I think, 7 goals. That's not worrisome. It's more worrisome the fact that last season when it mattered most, their scoring depth wasn't there, but it's certainly there right now. Michael Hutchison is definitely a great backup. He was outstanding in the AHL. Kyle Dubas and the whole management staff of the Maple Leafs, they really like to try and always have a strong AHL team, a strong farm team to try and create a winning culture. That's why Michael Hutchison was down there in the AHL, because he should have been in the NHL, but he was down there to try and show a winning culture. So I think he'll go out there and have a good performance. I like the Leafs tonight here, guys. They should be feeling good. I know it's only the Minnesota Wild. They should be feeling good about last night. They got some good puck luck going their way, but it seemed like they really controlled the pace throughout the entire game. And the part about the game that I like the most, it started off a little bit slow. If you notice, they were down 1-0. They didn't really get too bothered by that. They continued to play their game, and they played more of a bump and grind game along the boards, which I like to see from this Leafs team. Play physical, play in those dirty areas. Don't be afraid to score goals from the slot. And I think we saw, guys, 3 goals for the Leafs were around, maybe 2 or 3 feet from the crease. That's what I want to see from this Leafs team for them to be successful moving forwards. And I can't argue with Prez on the over. There's no argument against this Leafs team going over the total in most nights. And any game Washington's involved, you can certainly see some goals. However, they actually have trended under so far this year. So I don't know if that'll be a new thing with Washington playing more defensive. But when these two teams clash, definitely can't argue with going over the total. But I do like the Leafs here tonight. Yeah,
and, just to talk on that total real quick, one of the things that I'm going to be looking at all year as far as betting over or under on the Leaf games is, Babcock has shown that they go out and they play Tampa Bay. They put up 7 goals. Tampa Bay puts up 7 on them. Then they come back and tighten up against Detroit and tighten up against Minnesota. I think where you want to play the unders on the Leaf games is literally after they have a terrible defensive effort. Buster, what do you like?
Well, both these teams have been, to me, a bit of a disappointment, to say the least. I know the Leafs, that
Leaf 4-2. Leafs are 4-2 on the season, but they're a disappointment to you. I understand, Buster. I get it.
Yeah, 4-2. They are. They lose to my team. They lose to Montreal. They give up 4 goals.
No, that wasn't a loss, Buster. That was what.
And was it a loss? That was
no.
That was a total.
No, that's what collapse. Toronto calls charity.
That's Prez's favorite joke. He's
Yes.
really good at, in Ontario, he's really good at recycling. He recycles his jokes quite a few times. So you'll get used to that. You'll get used to that.
I'll say it myself, my opinion, I'm not impressed with both of these teams at all. Okay, Washington hasn't really looked that good. I know Ovechkin's been playing well. He's got 5 goals on the year. But at the end of the day, for the Leafs, if they don't get, like, even with Hutchinson, and I know he's been proven goalie, proven good. I want to see what he does this year. He might hurt this club this year. We'll see what happens tonight, because Washington will come up to play. I'm in agreement with you guys as far as the total, but 6.5. It's, I think it might have opened up at 6 real early, but I mean, you got to get some of those totals early these days because everybody's betting them over, right? But as far as taking a side in this game, I can't bet the Leafs off a back-to-back with Hutchinson in there.
I agree with you 100%.
And then I can't bet Washington though either in this spot, only because you got Hope in net, and he's hitting around .843 as a save percentage this year. He was out in 10 minutes of the game the other night. I think he's going to at least play better tonight. So that puts it hard for you to bet the Leafs, because I think he plays better. You have Hutchinson on the other side. To me, to bet that game on a side, you just have to pass that.
I think
any play, it's an.
I think you have
that's
to factor in the fact that Toronto has the Bruins up next, and I'm telling you, this is the game they care about.
For sure,
boys. The promo for today, NHL 39. You guys literally can get a week of any of our NHL plays for $39. This is as good a promo as we're going to give. You can get me, Koken, Carm, Buster, Kevin Dolan, Alex, and Andrew. $39 for a week. And if you want to know why Kevin Dolan is never on this show, he has the strongest Irish accent ever. I honestly don't understand what he's saying half the time he speaks.
And doesn't he live like in Singapore?
Yeah, he lives in South Korea. The time change is absurd.
Yeah.
He sounds Gaelic or something. But man, is he a great handicapper. I mean, do you know that Kevin Dolan has the #1 selling handicapping book on Amazon? Like, the guy wrote a book on handicapping.
What's it called?
Yeah. Can't remember. Didn't read it. But it sold. I mean, he made sales. Buster, did you lose weight?
You should read it, Prez. I'm getting there. I'm living life a clean life. We walk every day. It's just a tranquilo. That's the Mexican way. Nice and tranquilo. Nothing going on. Not big party. We're away from the Cancun area where there's party. It's just it's a good life. It's a quiet life, and yeah, it's great. And when you're not eating all that crap in Canada, all the fast food and all that, and you're actually getting real food, we go down to the market and get real produce. Yeah,
there's no real produce in Canada, boy. I went to Longo's and I bought an apple. It was a non-produce apple, man. It was like an apple sprayed with Kraft cheese dipped in macaroni.
Jeez.
Yeah. No produce in Canada.
How long has it been there?
Philadelphia on the road. They just came off a 3-1 loss to Calgary. I actually bet last night. I bet Calgary, Vancouver, and Toronto -1.5 goals. And I hooked it up to Houston Texans, which I took up to 3.5. So I got me a fat paycheck if the Texans cover. And it's not even like I like the Texans. I wanted a middle. So I took it from 1 to 3.5, and now I can come back on a middle with that one. Anyway, so I had a good night last night. Bet
is that Texans a third on the road for them or something? I know they played on the road last week in Kansas City.
This is not the NFL show. That's next up. And if you want to learn, listen to it. It's the NFL presidential address with Ralph Michaels and myself. I'll be taping in literally 7 minutes. So with that said, let's go. Philly against Edmonton. I was the only person high on Edmonton in the NHL preview show. I told you this team would be playing for the playoffs. 5-1 start. Philly doesn't look terrible, but they are on 2 back-to-back losses, 3-1 to Calgary, 3-2 to Vancouver. I'm in action on this game, guys. I got to play up at WagerTalk.com on this game. So, Andrew, I'll go to you first. Take it apart.
Well, the first thing I noticed when I look at this game is the scheduling. Philadelphia, as we know, started off their season in Europe. They have played far fewer games in general, regular season, preseason, location-wise versus this Edmonton Oilers team. So the factor is, do you take into account, is it a good thing or a bad thing for them? I think for this Philadelphia team, it's a good thing because they have a little bit of age with them. They're a little more of an older team versus Edmonton. As far as this goes, the rest factor is going to be a good thing. And Prez mentioned his strategy with betting the unders after the Leafs get blown out. I think that this Philadelphia team is going to be a team to bet over after a few losses.
I agree 100%.
They're struggling.
Same here. Yeah,
and as good as Edmonton has been so far this year, guys, I still think they're going to be an over team. We're expecting Koskinen in the between the pipes here tonight. I could see this one going over the total of 6, and that's the play I'm giving out here today. We have seen production from other people besides Leon Draisaitl and McDavid, and that's been the story of the Edmonton Oilers here to start the season off. Let's not take any credit away from those guys, though. McDavid and Draisaitl have picked up exactly where they left off last season. It's outstanding to watch what they can do, guys. They might be one of the best 1-2 punches in all of sports right now. It's second to none. Every single night they find a way to get the job done in a different fashion. But now that you got a guy like James Neal on the team that can really come in there and add that little sneaky secondary scoring, it's really helped that team out. But getting 6 goals out of both those teams, I'm not too worried about it. Carter Hart is a goalie that can really be trusted, but at the same time, I've been worried about his rebound control these days. He's so great with his glove hand, but sometimes his pads produce way too juicy rebounds. We could certainly expect the Oilers to pounce on those. So I'll give out the over 6 here, guys.
Buster, talk to me.
Like again, Andrew, I think you keep reading my notes. That's that's my play. I already had it up at the for my All Access NHL clients. They got that one today. Philly last night they just didn't show up. Plain and simple, right? They get outshot 38-22. They go 0 for 4 on the power play. And before that, they were like 4 or 10 on the power play. So, Alain Vigneault is not going to be too pleased with that. Problem here is for Philly on power play wise, now they got to face the number 1 penalty kill unit. Edmonton has been playing fantastic hockey. The reason why you win games in this league is because of your special teams at the end of the day. Their power plays number 2, their penalty kills number 1. Can that go on forever? I don't think so. I think you'll see Philadelphia maybe cash a couple tonight on the Edmonton penalty kill. Also, talking about Edmonton, when you're saying about Draisaitl and McDavid, I caught the last 4 games they played on the East Coast here. And I don't even know if this is possible, but that McDavid, he looks like he's faster than he ever's been.
He's splitting defensemen. I mean, he's literally skating through defensive pairs.
Still, like before he makes that one move, gets a puck, boom. Next thing you know, he's around guys, and this has been going on. So I'm thinking, wow, I'm not. I know me and you, Prez, on that one video, the one video we did for the Western Conference, talked about point leaders, and I said I take McDavid, but he's such low odds, and I went with who's the guy that's leading right now, Prez? I know it's only a short thing. That would be Patrick Laine. He's tied to 3 or 4 guys, so just to throw that out there. But anyways, McDavid look almost like if he plays like this and he doesn't get injured, he might be a shoo-in for that scoring title this year. He's unbelievable. But for me in this game, again, like Andrew touched on it, Hart can be good, but he can give up a few. Edmonton's going to definitely play offensively. These 2 teams, I believe, 5 of their last 6 in Edmonton have been over. But it's not just that. It's that Philly not showing up last night, 0 for 4 in the power play. I just think that they show up tonight. And, you might even want to play a little bit on Philadelphia because Edmonton's just coming home off that long road trip. Yeah. And always like playing a team in that spot as well.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. We talked about that on the first PuckTime show of the year, playing those teams that come back from a long road trip. Guys, Carolina plus 110. They're 6-1 on the season. They're playing San Jose, who are 2-4 on the season. Carolina just beat LA 2-0. San Jose lost their first 4 games, but did beat Chicago and did beat Calgary. I think the San Jose team's better than a 2-4 record, and I think this Carolina team is worse, and a hell of a lot worse, than a 6-1 record. I see you nodding your head in the wrong direction, Buster. You don't think they're worse than a 6 and what are they going to go 60-10?
Oh, okay, if you want to be literal.
Well, I am being literal about it. They're worse than 6-1.
That's Prez at its finest right now.
What?
Okay, I'm not used to that stuff, Andrew. So as the year goes on, I'll get it. But yeah, of course they're worse than a 6-1, but they're playing great hockey.
Yeah, sure,
right?
they're playing great hockey, but right now, to me, they're a sell team. I like San Jose in the spot. Carolina's going to come down to earth. I mean, I think they're a good hockey team. Don't get me wrong, but not even the 76 Habs went 60-10. Yeah, they probably did, actually.
But Prez, how is that the handicap that they're going to eventually lose? You know,
what are you watching, Teddy now? Don't start with me, Andrew. No, Teddy has the right to start with me. You don't.
Okay.
And that is not my handicap. I'm a host. I'm telling you I like San Jose. You, as a guest, give out the analysis.
Prez, we promised the viewers, me and you, to go back and forth at least twice an episode. I'm just trying to fulfill that for them.
Okay, well, do you want me to talk about how you shave your mustache and not your chin? Like, what? Who does that?
You can. You want to hurt my feelings.
Please get on with it. Carolina plus 110, 6.5 is the total. I want you both out of my life until next Wednesday in 5 minutes.
Prez, real quick. I'm with you on San Jose, although I'm not going to bet the game because I'm not laying 131 with a team that is 2-4. Okay, bottom line. If that line comes down and tonight and it's like 115, if people start betting Carolina because they're 6-1, yeah, Carolina's in a back-to-back spot. Always tough. They actually didn't look that good last night, and truthfully, maybe LA deserved a better fate last night. They didn't get it, so that's another reason why you stay away from this game because maybe Carolina plays better tonight. Right? San Jose, once they got your guy from Toronto that was in Toronto for those 2 years, Patrick Marleau, sorry. Once they got Patrick Marleau, they've won the last 2 games. Sometimes you get a guy like that with all the other guys that have been around before. It brought them a spark. There's no doubt about it. And San Jose's at home. That's Shark Tank. I don't know if you guys have been there for a game. I've been there a couple times. It's a great home venue. Not as good as some of the others, but it's probably top 5 home venue. And San Jose plays well at home. They've always been a good home club. Can't lay the 131. Can't play it over/under. It's a pass for me, guys.
Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not racing to the window to bet this game, but like Buster said, the value here is with Carolina. I'm not going to bet San Jose at that price when they've, haven't played their best hockey yet this season. I get what you're saying, Prez. Ultimately, all jokes aside, San Jose Sharks are going to be a pretty good team this year. Carolina is not going to be as amazing as they've looked, but so far they've proven to me that if I was to bet this game, I would look at the plus 110 spot with Carolina versus the San Jose Sharks here.
What kind of shirt are you wearing? Is that a Yankee shirt?
Yeah, they're supposed to play.
It looks like it, yeah.
They're supposed to play today, but it got postponed.
Jesus, man! Like you're a Yankee fan?
Well, I'm from Canada. I like the Blue Jays, but I was in New York and I got this shirt, so I'm kind of just rallying around them right now.
Okay. It's time for the last minute of play, boys. 15 seconds. Anaheim versus Buffalo. Andrew, go.
Buffalo.
Buster.
The only play here is the under.
Oh, yeah. So my 15 seconds, I don't like Buffalo and I don't like the under. I don't like Anaheim and I don't like the over. Hate this game. Columbus, Dallas.
Agreed.
Andrew.
Dallas, good spot for them, good price, and they're still underachieving. And I'll continue to take this, no matter how much they continue to have, not that much success. They're still a better team. Columbus is going to go down this year. Take Dallas at a better price.
I like the under. Buster.
I'm with Andrew again. I already bet this game too. It's Dallas, and I know they're 1-6 on the year. Bishop hasn't really showed up to play this year. They're going to go into Philadelphia and Pittsburgh still, and this is a game to a man. They know they have to win. The price is great. take Dallas.
That's Puck Time, boys. I'm the Prez. Andrew McInnis from Sports Memo, Buster Sports from WagerTalk. Head over to either of those websites. Get any of our NHL experts for 1 week. $39. Guys, $39. 7 days of hockey. Use the promo code NHL39. Andrew, no sound issues on your end. A big congratulations. Yeah.
Big show.
Buster,
Prez.
you're a good man, dude. I played hockey last night, boys. We won 4-1. Prez,
Nice.
out.